Everyone, it's Lisa here and welcome to Saturday Stash Dive. I am up against Patty Sandberg this weekend and our focus on buttons. So you can see I have this heart laid out with these buttons. I'm going to try to put a picture inserted now with my inspiration. I'm going to try and take a picture of it and hopefully I can. I seen this in my daughter. She works at a local sewing store and they have this in the window and I really like the picture. So I'm going to hopefully have a picture so that you guys can see. So what I've done so far is I've just, with pencil, very lightly traced out the heart, and then I just picked all these buttons that I really want to use. The other thing I'm going to do is next I'm going to take the buttons off and hopefully I can get them back in the same place, is I am actually going to embroider these hearts onto this page. So I don't want to bore you with that part of it. So I'm just going to fast forward a little bit. Well, actually I'm going to just cut into the new part where I have it all embroidered in, but I just wanted to show you what I have so far, and then I will come back with probably this sped up version so you guys can see the rest of the process. But so far, this is what I have.
Okay, so here I am. I didn't go all the way around with the heart because I knew I was going to put a picture down. And honestly, I didn't have a picture in mind when I had started this. I just knew what I wanted to use for my inspiration for it. And I'm sorry I don't have a picture. I must go take a picture of it today. And they sold the paint, or the little frame that it was. So I was kind of bummed out. But hopefully you guys kind of get the gist of what it is. Basically, it was an embroidered heart. So I did the same thing. I just did a straight stitch with the buttons. I didn't put any too much detail into the buttons. I just wanted something simple just because I don't sew. So here you can see I'm going through some 6x6 paper pads, and I don't need to use 12x12 sheets of paper because this is just very minimal paper layering. So I don't need very much, so I'm just going through some papers. These came in some card kits from Simon Says Stamp, so I don't know what the paper lines are. I think one's Fancy Pants, and I think, I'm not sure what the other one is, honestly. But they have like this watercolor effect to it, so I'm going to pull out some watercolors. And you can see I'm just going underneath where the picture is to just kind of test to see what colors I need to use to kind of closely match what's in that pattern paper. And so I'm just doing some tests behind it, and I had a little bit of gunk in my water brush, so I was just cleaning that off. So here I get kind of the right color, so you can see I'm just going to start kind of figuring out where my picture is going to go and then just start laying down some color. The beauty with watercolors is it's not perfect, and I guess my inspiration would be Patty Sandberg for this, the watercolor part of it, because she uses watercolors and I think it's beautiful. So I'm going to definitely try and use my watercolors a little bit more often. So here I'm just trying to make those colors just a little bit more intense, and then I'm just going to add a little bit of water, try and make them drip, and then just tap it, and it makes the drips drop a lot more. And then I'm going to fuss with some of these coloring here, and you can see it's covered right up over top of that picture, so I'm going to have to come down a little bit farther with the coloring. So here you can see I'm just adding a lot more color. And here I'm going to come down a little bit farther with those colors and just fix that part up. And just going to give it some more water and some taps just to create some drips. And there you go. You can see it's going to make this really nice, pretty watercolor effect behind that picture here. So I'm just going to dry it up real quick. And then I kind of really thought that it needed some background paper. This was a hindsight. I remembered we had some paper in the Glitz. I think this is the Wild and Free 12x12 paper pack, and it's kind of got this watercolor look to the background, and it's almost identical to the paint colors I had chose. So I wanted to do that. So in order to keep my heart centered, I need to cut 1/4 of an inch off of each side. So I'm just doing that right now. I'm just going to mat it on top of that Wild and Free paper. So, yeah, so I'm just going to glue this down, and it's going to lift up a little bit on the bottom. So I'm going to fuss with some tape for a little bit here just to make it lay a little bit flatter. And this picture is of Wade and I holding hands when we went to Tennessee. We went to go see the walking bridge. So we were holding hands. It was kind of really sweet. So here I'm just going through some of the Maggie Holmes flea market die cuts and just creating some quick little layers on the side. This layout honestly didn't take me very long at all. The longest it took me was to do the buttons, and I think it didn't honestly take me very long at all. I think if I was to really think about it, I bet you it took me maybe half an hour to do all the buttons, and that's not really all that bad. And then the layout came together really fast after that. I think, you know, maybe I did it, the other part of it, for maybe half an hour, 20 minutes. And that was more or less just finding products because I didn't really have anything pulled at this time. So again, just creating some quick little layers on the side. And then I'm just going to use a date stamp and stamp it's you and me and then the date. And it's going to look a little smudgy the first time I stamp it, so I'm going to stamp it again. And then just add a little bit more foam tape just to pop everything up. I used foam tape on the picture just so that it would sit up above those buttons so that they didn't kind of lift the edges up, so to speak. So my title is going to be I Want to Hold Your Hand, just like the Beatles song. So I'm just going to use a couple different alphas. I know that peach alpha, you can't really see it say the I wanna and then the hand part, but when you see in the close-ups, it does say it. So you just have to take my word for it now. And I was going to use a different alpha for the hand part, and I decided no, I'm just going to go back to these other alphas. And they're from Studio Calico. I think we got them in a kit a while ago. So I'm just going to do some quick journaling about how it was nice for Wade and I just to go on a holiday by ourselves and, you know, kind of, you know, just be us for a change. Not be parents, not be, you know, employees or anything like that. Just be us. So I just wrote about that. And then here I found some fabric flowers. I think I got these from Ronnie Sue Scrapper. They were in my stash, so I wanted to use those up. I debate on using this other one here, but I don't, so that's okay. And then I found this stamp set in my stash, and it's from L Studio, yes it is. And I'm going to use two from here, and I'm going to fast forward a lot of fussing right now. I pulled this stamp out, and I went through a couple different inks to try and find that would match that blue, and I couldn't find one. So I actually ended up using, this is close to my heart, I think it's called Sky. So I'm going to use a 1-inch hole punch to cut that out. But yeah, I had to fuss with finding the right blue that would go for it for a little bit. I just wanted to make a little bit more blue into the layout. And I really like how that turned out. And then there's this other little sentiment. I can't remember what it says. I put my layout away. What does it say? It says, "You'll always have my heart." And I thought that was really fitting for, you know, the heart on the layout. And I just stamped it 3 times to kind of create a variegated look on it. And here you can just see some of the close-ups. And just a very, very simple layout. I didn't think I wanted to add too much more to it just with all the buttons and everything there. So yeah, I really, really like it. Stay tuned for the close-ups and make sure you check out Patty Sandberg's layout for this week. I'll try and leave a link for it below. So thanks everybody for watching, and we'll see you next time. Bye.